What is up, Bat family? Welcome back to the Build a Trader YouTube channel. Right now, we're doing our weekly Zoom call, and I'm just going to go over the weekly economic news, the medium and high impact news for the week, as well as cover some technical analysis on the main trading pairs that we look at, which are the NASDAQ 100, gold. Lately, I've been covering the US 30 as well as Bitcoin since we have broken all-time highs. And we may cover silver today as well, as that has also been moving quite volatile with gold. Now, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the news events here. Real quick, though, I will add that this will be uploaded to the channel as soon as it is completed here. Last week, we had some issues where it didn't fully record, and well, this week, we're right back at it, and it will be up there. If you already haven't, go ahead and join my free Telegram channel. The link is in the video description. B.A.T signals. I am fully logged in. We're sending signals multiple times a week, daily analysis, and just ultimately being active every single day, sending interesting news articles to read, as well as tidbits to help you trade better and trade signals. Alrighty, so let's get into it. Today, Sunday, during Asia Open, we have New Zealand dollar inflation expectations, high impact news to kick off the week. And then we have a French bank holiday for the European Union. So we should see not too much volatility during the London and Asian sessions. We look into Monday, we have bank holiday for CAD and USD, which it is Veterans Day tomorrow. So 3-day weekend for me. I currently work at JP Morgan Chase Bank, and I have a 3-day week coming up. So I am looking forward to that. Paid holiday, nothing to complain about. Next, what else we have going on here? We have GBP claim account change, which is Monday evening pre-London Open, and then average earnings index 3-month. 3-month period. What is this? 3 months. Yeah, represents just 3 months out of the year. I'm going to go ahead and change these filters real quick as it's showing some of the low impact news that we don't need on there, the yellow folder news. We'll apply that filter. There we go. So now red and orange folders are medium and high impact news, and that's what we are focusing on. I don't really care too much for the low impact news, although it is important. This is more important. So we go to Tuesday, we have a FOMC member speaking during just slightly after New York Open, and then we have another FOMC member speaking right at the market close. We have the Australian dollar wage price index. Later on, the following day, Wednesday morning, New York session, we have consumer price index, which is basically measures the price of goods and services in the US for consumers, and then core CPI, which is the same thing, core consumer price index. The only difference between CPI and core is that core does not include the food and energy data prices. The Fed considers that data to be more volatile and is excluded from core CPI, in case those who wanted to know. We have the Reserve Bank of Australia, Governor Bullock speaking. We have unemployment change or employment change and unemployment rates for the Australian dollar later that afternoon during Asia session on Wednesday. Following that, Thursday morning, New York Open, we have core producer price index and producer price index. So core PPI, same thing. Core PPI does not include the food and energy data prices as they're more volatile. Following that news, we have unemployment claims for the US dollar. Later that morning, crude oil inventories. In the middle of New York session, we have European Central Bank President Lagarde speaking. Following that, we have US Federal Chair Powell speaking. And then following that, Bank of England Governor Bailey speaking. So Thursday is going to be one heck of a day as well after the PPI news. And to end the week, we have core retail sales for the US dollar. So this week's going to be very, very volatile. Very good opportunities are going to be present, and just ultimately looking forward to what this week can provide. It's going to look very exciting. We're going to start with, we'll start with gold for the week, and then we'll go into the indices and then cover Bitcoin. After this, we'll look at silver real quick, though. So this was our analysis for last week when we saw the market open. It looked like price was going to drive higher, broke past our initial area of resistance that we saw. It just continued higher to just go slightly above 2,700. Didn't quite reach. Did we reach 2,710? We barely hit 2,710, came back down and starting to downtrend once again. Let's remove this risk to reward tool. Left-hand side going to go to the 12-hour, and right-hand side going to go to the weekly time frame here. As you can see on the right-hand side, we have a strong bearish candle close, but a strong wick rejection from this area of demand. This could be showing that buyers are stepping in here. Let's remove this moving average. But ultimately, we would need some sort of another one of these, another wick rejection right from this area here. So how price closed strong bullish on the 12-hour time frame, we would need another higher low from where price currently is. Looks like it may be retesting this area of resistance as support, or it's just going to keep going lower. We need to have a reaction from this point, then a continuation to go higher. In order for price to continue higher, we need to break above this point here, which was the previous week's low. Now the current previous week's low is this point here where that area of demand is, as this was last week's low. This point is an area of retest now of broken support, now possible resistance, and price may retest this point this week and then decide if it's going to go lower or continue higher. We have this area of supply right here that we can see the higher time frame. Let's go up to the daily time frame. We're going to adjust this to here because this is where we're at. Let's remove this area. We may open bearish, push down to this point here where this little blue line is, where potential higher low could form. Then may come up to 27. First, we need to break 2710, and then potentially 2730, and then 2740 price range. But as of now, it does look bearish just due to the weekly candle close. But that wick rejection has me concerned. On the monthly time frame, you can see just a higher low, and it looks like price may try to continue higher. Left-hand side, we're going to the 4-hour, and right-hand side, going to the 12-hour. Just to break this down a bit more. In order to continue bullish, we need to break above this 2710 price range. Otherwise, looking like a bearish continuation if we don't break above this point here. If we do break above 2750, there'd be a clean range up to 2800 plus price range to this potential take profit area here. We'll have to see how it plays out. But ultimately, price needs to break above this point in order to give clear direction. All right, let's see what you said here, Josh. Hate it, bro. All right. We'll save this here. Yeah, this will be an interesting one. Next, we're going to look at silver real quick. Let me pull up that chart. Yeah, create new layout. Go to the FXCM chart.
Seems to have a lot of volume spikes every now and
We're not going to do too much of a deep dive analysis on this, as this isn't a pair that we trade, but it's good to get an overall idea of what the commodities market is doing. And we'll start covering gold here oil here as well in the Telegram, just into general analysis, just to get an idea of what the overall commodities markets are doing. You can see that silver, let's zoom out a little bit. Silver has not made a new all-time high, but we are at hot. We're at 13-year highs currently. Has not been this high in 13 years. Price of silver. So we have our all-time high right here. We have our low point here. Let's break it down to the weekly time frame. We have something right here that price may be retesting or potentially about to break. Let's look at the daily real quick. Area of demand. Price of silver does look like we could break lower, come down to $28 an ounce if we come down to that price range there. And if we hit support around $26, $27. Let me remove that. There you go. Let's break it down to the 12-hour. Yeah, for silver to continue, we would need this area to hold, but it does look like similar to gold, there is some bearish pressure here, and we may just open bearish, continue lower. If we break past this point at around $30 an ounce, there's a clear range to the downside. Similar to gold, we may see a pullback and then needs to decide if we're going to hold that area or continue lower. Next, we're going to look at the NASDAQ 100. The NASDAQ made a new all-time high last week and looking to continue to drive up to 21,500 price range, 21,800 price range. We'll remove this resistance, the all-time high line up to that point where we're at now. Left-hand side going to the 12-hour time frame and right-hand side going to the weekly time frame. And let's look at this here. Weekly time frame strong, bullish candle, broke above the previous week's high. And as you can see, strong, very, very strong bullish candle. This is the previous week's high now, where we're currently at. Let's remove these moving averages. We don't need them right now. We could see a pullback at this previous area of resistance. Might retest 21 to actually 208, 20,800 to 20,700. That's if we get lucky though. There's a lot of bullish momentum here, a lot of buyers, so we may just continue higher market open. You have some rejection here at the current all-time high at the area of resistance. There's a minor level of demand and support right here where structure is. And we would ultimately need to see this hold, but it's kind of looking like equal highs right here at the resistance level, right at this point. Almost like a double top or potentially ranging. It's a little too early to tell, but we would need maybe some type of liquidity sweep to break below this, make it seem like it's broken around 2100, and then it just continues higher with the overall direction it was going to go. If we break even lower, we could test that area like I was saying, and then make a wick rejection and continue higher. We look at the monthly. Yeah, it definitely does look like we're just going to continue with those long-term targets we've been seeing for a few months up to 21,500, 21,800, and up to even 22,800 if pressure just keeps going all month long. We'll go down to the 4-hour on the left-hand side and right-hand side 12-hour. 12-hour close with some indecision. Not clear direction, does not look bearish or bullish, which is definitely the case as it does look range bound, kind of look like equal highs. It could go either way. Let's extend this a little bit here. This might be a retest area. Maybe a clean move to start the week down here, and then that might be the catalyst to push it higher. We will have to see. Ultimately, I am bullish on the NASDAQ, and we may see a bearish retracement, but ultimately still looking to continue higher. You go ahead and save that just in case anything crazy happens. Next, US 30. US 30 also made an all-time high, new all-time high. The US 30, the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So where this green zone is was our kind of longer term area of take profit based off the Fibonacci retracement or Fibonacci expansions, Fibonacci extension levels, I should say. We zoom out to the monthly time frame. You apply a Fib retracement tool from this point to this point. So from where I consolidated the higher low point to the first push of the new higher high, you can see these green levels, the extension levels here of potential future take profit points, and that's where they are. Right here, where the all-time high is, we have a little bit more to go according to the extension tool. Now it's just a tool. The most important thing is price, but when price is moving in line with the analysis, you can definitely use these extensions to get an idea of where the overall market is headed. But 44,350 is our negative 61.8 Fibonacci extension level, which is a little bit above the all-time high, right in this green zone. So we could just open bullish, pop above here, and then have a bearish move, or just may continue higher the rest of the week from that point. Now we can adjust the sum based off of current price action. We moved it up to the current high. And from this point here, we could see this potential area of 45,870 and then 48,000 price range, which is where that blue zone is. So we're going to slide this down some. So if we break above this green zone here, we may extend further up to 45,800 price range to 48,000 price range. Let's clean up some of these here. Yeah, this is still the previous week's low. This is now the previous week's high where the all-time high is. But yeah, ultimately, US 30 is looking very bullish currently. Just may see a retracement, but overall still looking to climb higher. Yeah, even if you look at the daily, this little support level was formed, which is where this blue line is. This right here is crucial to having price continue higher. So if it does break, as you can see on the right-hand side, the daily time frame, there's this area of resistance here. That price had a break to make this new all-time high. That might test the support, or it could potentially come down lower. Overall, still seeing bullish continuation. Next, we're going to look at Bitcoin, which is the last pair of the day. Unless there's anything you'd like me to look at here, Daniel. Otherwise, this is it. As you can see, Bitcoin made a new all-time high this week. Last week, we were saying that it was trying to hold that area as a higher low point, which it did. If we zoom in some, this is that area. This is that candle that price was struggling to close either bullish or bearish. We look on the left-hand side. This was right here was last Sunday, where this bullish bearish candles are. We came down, retested just under 67,000, created the higher low point here, and ultimately continued to make a new all-time high. We're still headed towards the 85,000 price range. And once we break above that, ultimately up to 100,000. The media is talking about it right now. Everybody's talking about it, but Yeah, it's definitely going to 85,000 first, and then probably up to 100K later on. There may be a retracement though. Let's see, possibly to start the week. It may not though. There's a lot of momentum, a lot of buyers here, a lot of hype. It may not come back, but we could see a retest down to the 75,000 price point, 72,500 price point, and then price continue higher. Let's remove a TH from that as that's no longer the all-time high. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know if this is going to pull back. I would like it to, but Bitcoin is does what it wants most of the time, and it's got a lot of momentum here. If we do pull back, there could be a retest in this area based off the lower time frame where we kind of consolidated and made higher low points before we broke up higher. So this point could be an area of entry. It's definitely not still too late to margin trade this pair. There's still definitely some room for it to move. So even if we came down to 75,000 again to retest, we're looking at the right-hand side on this higher time frame. That blue level doesn't look so drastic. It just looks like a 50% retracement. I'll show you what I mean. On the Fibonacci extension tool or retracement tool, you can measure the current weekly candle to see potentially how next week will play out. If we pull back to that blue line, that's 38.2 retracement. The previous support or previous resistance now potentially support around the 72,000 price point. Both of these points could be good entry areas. From that point, if we go up to 85,000, which is where our fib extension targets line up, as you can see, that would be a 13% gain. So not too much. Price is pretty high, so the amount of return you'll get from this point up to 100K isn't that much. If we were to measure that from here to 100K, that is literally just a 25, 26% gain. So it's not as lucrative as it was if you were to buy sooner. But if you are margin trading and can get in on a higher low point and catch a solid bullish move, that is what I'd more so recommend unless you have a lot of money to invest on a pullback. Otherwise, it's just not that lucrative. If you had $10,000 and you held it to 100K, it could make you $2,500. Other than that, $1,000 would give you, barely a $250 return. Not too much there. But overall, that's all I have for you guys this week. Looking forward to this trading. There's a lot of news events, a lot of good price action coming up, and it's just going to be a solid trading week. If you haven't already, go ahead and join my free Telegram channel. Link is in the video description. This will be uploaded on YouTube later on for those that joined the live call. And ultimately, appreciate you all, Bat fam. It's been real, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Enjoy your Monday off if you have a, paid holiday. Otherwise, see you guys soon. Peace.